Trianne?
What's wrong? Is there trouble at the Grove?
Yes, I sensed something. It was fleeting, but very strong. It feels like they're in some big trouble. Trianne used the Century Gate again.
Can you see what's actually happening?
No, it's fuzzy like always, but the enemy's aura has disappeared. Maybe they've moved to a safe place?
Let's hope that it's just a false alarm. We should place our trust in her and Castra's teacher. They will keep Trianne safe.
Aggie, you're talking like we are little kids. One day, Trianne will reach her limit, and Trebi will take on the role of gatekeeper from her. We are all aware of that. I am just a little concerned about her state of mind. Trianne was already unable to speak, even in short sentences when they left. We want to say a proper goodbye at the very least.
I will pray with you.
Thanks. And Aggie, it looks like we will need you to come with us to the baths this time to unwind. It feels like neither of us have laughed for a long while. Here's really hot and heavy. Has it always been like this? Is someone injured? What happened here?
Watch out! Watch out for the Kremnoan!
Kremnoan? This is their doing?
Aggie, now's not the time to dwell on that. Let's help the injured people first.
Excuse me! Coming through! Oh, you two are here as well. That's a relief.
Even the Twilight Courtyard is involved? What in the world happened here?
I actually just came to relax. But as soon as I got here, I saw all these people lying on the ground. I've examined them, and they don't seem to be seriously ill. It feels like they've just spent too much time in the hot water.
Multiple individuals fainting simultaneously from the hot pool steam? Where is the manager of the baths?
He disappeared, and no one knows where he's gone to. Some people have been saying that the Kremnoans are behind this. Lady Aglaya, what do you think about this?
Let these people rest. The two of you, please come with me.
Have you thought of something, Aggie?
Yes. While their intentions elude me, it's time to bring this farce to a close.
What's going on? This...
Snowy! Even Snowy!
The culprit is Mightimos. Oh.
Dee, what did you do to everybody?
It's just another duel where I claimed victory.
Duel?
As I expected. On the surface, these two are the mightiest warriors in the Holy City, but they're still impulsive youths at heart. Speak up, Mighty. Tell us exactly what kind of foolishness you and Finan indulged in this time.
No, none of those sound right. Forget it. Am I seeing things? Is the magnificent deliverer finally deigning to step outside? What kind of response is that?
Nothing. I was just imitating your usual response. I don't feel anything special from you. Have you passed the demigod trial?
The ritual hasn't reopened yet. In case you forgot, it hasn't been that long since I pulled you out of the trial.
I didn't forget.
Then, you're welcome.
In twilight's last gleam, Makima stands bold. Her walls sturdy, tales untold. Dreaming of her fruitful gardens, pilgrims arrive from distant lands. Figs and olives, so grand. Yet little do they know that they will step into flames, fuel to the fire, a burning brand.
What are you playing at this time?
I just felt like reciting a few lines of poetry. Surely the Crown Prince of Kremnos knows how to appreciate poetry, right?
Kremnoans steer clear of such weak literature. But my library doesn't lack collections of this kind.
These lines express the poet's yearning for their home, just as Akama is distant from many people's homes.
I know how to interpret poetry, Haikis.
There's no point in pretending to be profound, my friend. Thank you for helping me out when I was in a tight spot, but it seems to me that you aren't prepared for the trial either.
Don't compare your situation with mine. My people are still relying on me. I can't ascend to godhood on my own without first resolving their issues.
So, are you suggesting that you, the mighty Mightimos, and the heir to the throne of Kremnos, wish to defy tradition that has endured among your people for millennia?
I'm still thinking about what I should do.
Never mind. It's probably not my place to offer you counsel. An idea does strike me, though.
Go ahead. Let's see what terrible ideas you've come up with this time.
Maybe we both need to relieve some stress. Come, Mightimos, let's recommence our previous competition. This time, we'll see who can stay in the super hot bath for longer. What? Are you chickening out?
The phrase chickening out does not exist in the Kremnoan language. I just find this situation absurd, that's all. All-knowing historian, are you not aware that we Kremnoans use boiling water from sword forging for our baths? Looks like I'll have to teach you some royal etiquette today.
And thus, an unprecedented sauna battle commences! With unparalleled resolve, the two warriors' determination even alters the very hue of the steam. Flames intertwine with scalding vapor, reaching toward the heavens, shrouding the sky in the sun. The spectacle is so magnificent that none dare gaze upon it directly. Since we can't see what's happening in the competition, why don't I regale you with a tale of kings to pass the time? Do you recall the legend of the Gorgo lion mentioned by a certain veteran? The central figure, the main character, was not sole sovereign of that land. An Oryx stood as its formidable rival. Long before the dawn of Erechrysia, the two beasts started their timeless battle on the plains of Tritos. The lion regarded the Oryx as its food, while the Oryx perceived the lion as a scornful, oppressive, and challenging barrier that it swore to topple with its antlers. For tens of thousands of years, without respite, the two creatures thus continued their relentless pursuit and rivalry. It fixated on its rival's fleeing form in the chase. It set its sights on the other's neck, nearly within reach. It was stuck in a corner. It had nowhere to escape. On the land of Amphorius, some lives meet their end at dusk, some at dawn, and yet others are fated to perish under the blistering sun at noon. And at last, the most scorching moment of the day descended upon them. The formidable hand of fate heeded their call and arrived!
My lords, would you like me to reduce the temperature a little?
What? You're chickening out already?
Get lost.
Are you asking me to get lost, or...
Do whatever you want.
Oh, please forgive my presumptuousness, my lords.
What a spectacle of folly.
This is what you get for daring to challenge a Kremnoan without understanding your own place.
What I'm saying is, your little game dragged down quite a few innocent souls alongside you.
We will personally escort back home the customers left awestruck by our formidable presence.
This isn't fair. You are wearing way less than I am.
Is this the latest trend now? Getting into the baths while dressed in full armor?
Don't look at me like that. It was he who challenged me. There is no word for flee in the Kremnoan language.
Very well. Let us bring this farce to a close, shall we? Warriors, it's time to get moving. Alas, the flame chase journey is destined to be a lengthy one, replete with obstacles.
But thanks to those two, all the gloom has vanished into thin air. Well, we just had quite the commotion. It's not every day we find the Marmorial Palace this serene. Shall we continue with our previous plans? Hyacinth, would you care to join us?
Such an empty bath is indeed a rare sight. I was looking forward to unwinding after work. I'd be delighted to accept your invitation, Lady Treeby.
to the biggest bat.
Let me check. The water temperature feels just perfect.
So, how is the feeling of having the entire bath to yourselves?
It's so good.
But, Lady Treeby, aren't you going to soak in the bath with us?
We will have to pass. After all, we've become children.
Please understand that she can no longer endure the heat of this pool due to the blessings of Yanis.
Oh,
Are you curious about us, Hyacinth?
I am, but something tells me that it might be better to change the topic.
Don't get all nervous. It's not something we can't discuss. The truth is, a long, long time ago, we were a mature adult just like Aggie. Then, because of reasons, we inherited Yanis's divinity and gained the power of passage. And in return, the price we had to pay was the splitting of our soul.
Each opening of the Century Gate intensifies the strain on Treeby and the others. They are gradually regressing towards infancy, both in body and mind.
We don't know what awaits us at the end either, but anyway, that's why we've turned into children.
In that case, when you opened that giant sentry gate above Akama during the battle against Nikador,
Well, there's no way around it. We all know that the flame chase journey won't be a smooth ride.
maybe we can find a way to fix it. The primary research focus of Moose Forests is the soul. We explore its depletion and methods to restore dispersed souls. As long as research continues, there might be a breakthrough that can help. We will do everything we can.
So your first reaction is in fact denial. You're indeed an Access student. I look forward to your good news, Hyacinth.
Now there's another reason to look forward to tomorrow.
Lady Treeby, what's wrong?
Something's off. It's that strong feeling again. Is it Trian? Wait, no. It's not Trian this time. It's Trinan. Trinan is in danger.
I win this round of escorting the bathers home.
How does one contender alone make a valid competition?
Offering a compliment or two wouldn't be the end of you, you know.
Haikas.
What is that word? Is that your native tongue?
It means hyena. I'm likening you to a weak hyena. By the way, you emphasize the completely wrong syllable.
Though we've been acquainted for some time, I have rarely heard you talk in the ancient tongue of Kremnos.
It's because I'm not exactly a master at it either. I can listen and read just fine, but when it comes to writing...
You can write?
You speak as if you don't have a brain.
That was in jest. I understand. After all, you spent all your childhood wandering far from home.
Worry about yourself first, Deliverer. You also never mention your hometown, apart from when you need to introduce yourself.
Well, it's because there isn't much to say. Ides Elysiae is simply a tiny village that disappeared many years ago in the flames of war. The only times I get to see it are in my dreams, and in the trial from the Lance of Fury.
I knew it.
Yes, I saw it all. Ides Elysiae ablaze with everyone. My family, friends, and my kin, lying in a sea of flames. A blood-red half-sun hung in the sky, just like on that day. And before my eyes, that murderer killed Cyrene. But I saw its form this time. A black cloak, an eerie mask, and a broken giant sword that carried an ominous aura. I fought it in the trial. But even though I've been fighting, improving, and resolutely getting stronger all this time, I still couldn't defeat it.
You were blinded by hatred and almost lost yourself in that trial.
That's right. And that's why I am truly thankful to you, Mightymouse.
You finally picked up some manners. Better late than never.
Then what about you, Mighty? What did you see in that trial? What do you fear?
There is no word for fear in the Kremnoan language.
I'm getting the feeling that your language has no words at all.
But to answer your question, I saw Akuma in the trial. As well as my old comrades. Hephaestion, Perdiccas, Ionius, Ptolemy, and Possesta. Ever since I returned from the Sea of Souls, these five have been by my side. We faced life and death together during our days in exile. Those 10 years were arduous, yet filled with moments worth treasuring. Each night, we would gather by the campfire, savoring honey brews and singing our hearts out. The wind in the wilds of Amphorius smelled like rust. Hephaestion would always tease me about adding goat milk to the honey brew, claiming I ruined the blood-red color of the drink. He had a scrawny figure, but was a relentless force on the battlefield, dispatching foes without so much as a blink. Perdiccas was an expert in concocting medicines, delving into all those strange folk remedies. Ionius was a swift runner, and our most reliable messenger. Ptolemy was a real bookworm, always spouting off in chapters and verses. When we left Kremnos, he made off with a stack of ancient tomes from the Grand Library. Not like it mattered, as my family owns the library. And then there was Possesta. He was the silent type, but a truly masterful musician.
This is the first time I've heard you mention these five, and their names.
They died on the battlefield before the Kremnoan detachment managed to join Akuma. Perdiccas was the first to go. He was shot in the stomach by a poisonous arrow from the people of Ladon in the second month of cultivation. In the end, his remedies mended all but himself.
Mightymouse, do not mourn. I have achieved honor by bestowing a noble death upon the enemy.
Leonius died in the 5th winter. Idonia's snowstorm lasted 3 full months. On the night of the fiercest storm, our foes launched their assault.
Idonia. Is that the city Castorus used to live in?
Yes. Those zealots were as fearless as Kremnoans in the face of death, but they lacked respect for honor. They cornered us in the bottomless swamp. Leonius covered for our retreat, and they cut his legs off. He vanished into the mire of a foreign land, his body never to be recovered.
This is perfect. Mighty Most, I can finally deliver the news of you ascending the throne to the Nether Realm.
20 dusks later, we finally breached the walls of Idonia and entertained the usurper's plea for peace. However, the rebels refused to surrender and set up an ambush within the city. Ptolemy and his cavalry met their end before they could even relish our triumph. Those obelisks that collapsed after being set on fire became their final resting place.
My Deimos, please tell my family. It was not cunning schemes that vanquished Ptolemy, but the immense weight of Amphorius' entire history.
Then, it was Pacesta. He lured the enemies into the city of Aenionis with his melodies, buying us invaluable time. Our enemies, consumed by indignation when they discovered the trick, set the entire city and my soldiers on fire. His final words were recorded on a small clay tablet, fractured by the flames.
My Deimos, don the crown.
And at last, my most trusted friend, Hephaestion. He was supposed to stand by my side through it all. But a sudden relapse of his illness hit him on the eve of my duel against my father. He hid his condition from me. By the time I returned victorious, he had but a breath left in him.
A Kremnoan dying on a sick bed? I would be a laughingstock to everyone.
Hephaestion, my dear friend. Spare your strength. I'll go get a physician.
No need. Even if Perdiccas were here, he couldn't stop destiny from taking me away.
No! None can take you away.
My Deimos, our king, do not shed tears for me. It's not befitting of your status. Farewell, my dear friend. You must lead us back home.
What a grave trial indeed. Now I understand why you see immortality as a defect, or even a curse.
My father threw me into the sea of souls to break the wheel of karma. But little did he realize it would grant me an immortal body and summon a fated revenge on his head. Following his demise, I considered leading my people back to our homeland. Kremnos had already turned it into a wasteland. Only darkness and insanity thrived there. Against the dissent of many, Krateros included, I made the Kremnoan detachment stay in Akama. But I know that their glory will never be doused out. The instant of strife shall inevitably arrive.
If you take over Nikodor, then you must begin the journey back to your homeland. So, You hesitate because you think leaving your people in the Holy City is a better choice?
I don't know. But I have never been crowned. Those 5 were never endowed with any titles. None is aware of their glory.
Your predicament is truly complicated. I don't know how I can give you any useful advice. Maybe you could seek counsel from more people, such as the Grand Craftsman. Cartonis' people seem to have been through comparable dilemmas. And that teacher of yours, Krateros?
Dee, we've got a big problem! Big problem!
Lady Tribby, what's making you so flustered?
Hurry up and go save Trinan! She got abducted by Krateros!
Krateros! What's going on?
Mighty-Mos. It seems I was the one who exposed my vulnerabilities first.
Aglaya, I demand an explanation.
This man abducted Trinan by force, and forced her to bring him to the Vortex of Genesis. He then brazenly stepped into the trial of the Lance of Fury, and naturally failed.
Is she telling the truth? Why did you do that?
Because I don't want to wait anymore. Your hesitation made me desperate. If you want to run away from your destiny to become king, then keep running. Someone will eventually stand up and fill in the gap left by strife. Then they will lead our people home.
Age has blinded you, teacher. Can't you see that I'm hesitating because of this very recklessness seared into your blood?
Krateros, do you truly believe you're worthy of entering the trial? To blaspheme against the prophecy? Does the mission we Chrysos heirs bear seem like child's play to you?
Do you know how the Kremnoans see you, Aglaya? You're a hypocrite and a megalomaniac. The prophecy of Genesis and the Flame Chase journey are just excuses for you to seize power.
Silence, Krateros. Do you even know what you're saying?
Are you defending this woman, Mighty-Mos? How many wars did people start because of her and her so-called prophecy? How many cities fell in the past millennium? Their people massacring each other. Even if this so-called Genesis really exists, will there be a place for the Kremnoans in that new world?
Are you done talking? By agreement between the Chrysos heirs and the Council of Elders, those who trespass upon the Vortex of Genesis need not be tried by the Council. I am allowed to pass judgment alone. Krateros, your actions are unforgivable. I hereby sentence you.
Aggie, wait! We have a proposal! Someone has to resolve this conflict between the cities. Lord Krateros did not use violence to harm us. We can sense that his anxiety stems from his concern for his people's future. Please, Aglaya, hear us out first.
I'm listening.
I'm sorry, Lord Krateros. We were so preoccupied with deciphering the fragments of prophecy that we neglected those of you not favored by its message. Your accusations were harsh, but justified. We wish to earn your trust and those of the Kremnoans. I think the best way to do that is to take you to witness the source of the prophecy for yourself.
How are you going to show me something that has no form?
You've heard about that Outlander, right? She has somehow made a connection with Boronix and can completely replicate scenes from the past. We will ask for her aid. Tomorrow, at the Abyss of Fate in the Temple of Yanisopolis, we will show you everything from that distant memory, Krateros.
A fair proposal. I accept.
Until then, you will be stripped of your freedom. That is my one condition, and I will brook no argument.
It is not the first time I've been made someone else's prisoner. Do as you please, demigod.
Teacher, why did you do this?
Forgive me, young master. But I just cannot wait any longer. Ever since your father died, our people and I have been waiting for a day to revive Kremnos. We placed all of our hopes in you, but never received an answer.
This obsession for returning home has become a sickness for our people. Wise as you are, I refuse to believe that you can't see the truth.
You have a clear head, which is why you're also incomparably alone. A smart person can only choose to tangle himself with the mundane of this world. If you're truly capable of leading our people beyond this blood-stained fate, then prove it to me once more, Mighty Mos. Just as you did back then.
A fierce fighter. I did not expect such heroism from a feeble Acheron. Fulfill your duty as the victor, warrior, and tell me your name. I seek an honorable death from you.
As if you have any honor! Listen closely. I am the leader of the Kremnoan detachment, Mighty Mos. I'm here to finish you, Father.
It is you, the beast spurned by all. So you did defy death. The prophecy was true. You will bring an end to my Kremnoan dynasty.
Defy? You're wrong. Death fears me. It's the reason I have this body of steel. As for you, you already stand at death's door, Father. You were the one who threw me into the Sea of Souls. The one who tried in vain to enslave a Titan. And the one who desecrated the body of a god. Haikis! You're a weak king. So weak that even the lowliest hyena is a more noble existence than you. And now, fate's reckoning is upon you.
Then swing your blade. Take my crown. Coronate yourself with an old king's blood and inherit it all. Become the new rightful king of Kremnos.
No. I don't want the crown. Listen. There's only one end for the kings of Kremnos. Then the crown means nothing to me. All I want is your life. To avenge Mother and my comrades.
But the walls of Kremnos will not fall with me. Do you truly think you can escape fate's grasp, my son? You and I, we're both the same. We feast on strife and fear. Now, kill me! The son of Gorgo is destined to be crowned in blood!
He said the Grand Craftsman Cartonus might have some suggestions. Might as well go see him. Grand Craftsman, how have you been?
King of Kremnos it is. That you would come, I knew.
You knew I was coming?
Your matters, I've heard. The path forward you seek. Many questions you have. But before that, take this.
What's this?
A signet ring for the King of Kremnos. Belonged to your mother. Recast and restore it. I did.
What? Mother threw it into the Sea of Souls.
A long time to fish out it took. Very fortunate we were.
I can hardly imagine how much patience and courage it must have taken to find such a small signet ring in the Sea of Souls. I owe you one.
Gratitude there is no need for. Repayment for saving me, this is. Questions you bring with you? Ask now.
Fate I've always denied. It's finally caught up to me. By all rights, I should accept Strife's authority. It would make everyone happy. The Chrysos heirs, the Council of Elders, the Kremnoans. Even the bards who will write it all into song.
Yet hesitate still you do. Hesitate, why do you, young king?
Because of my people. Be they men, women, the elderly or children. The hearts of all Kremnoans yearn for home. They've all been waiting for this day. For the day their king returns. Children of Strife would then be able to go home and embrace the old traditions. Never mind that most of them have only ever been heard in these so-called traditions and song. They would then gather around their king and throw themselves into battle.
This is not a good thing, you believe.
Kremnoans have been trapped in a cycle of bloodshed for the past 1,000 years. They seek vengeance, start wars, become prosperous, and decline. How much innocent blood flowed into the River of Souls in all those years? How many needless sacrifices could we have avoided? I accept that fate and become the totem of strife. That lead my people into repeating the same mistakes. Then of course I would be terrified. I'd be terrified of becoming king.
A different kind of Kremnoan you truly are.